Some 4,000 years ago, the children of Israel were in bondage. There was an emphatic instruction that they keep their bloodline pure while they were in exile. 11 of the 12 tribes did. One tribe intermarried with their captors. Some years later, when they were allowed to return to their homeland, that one tribe that intermarried was the Samaritans. And because they intermarried with their captors, they were hated. For several thousand years, they were hated. At the time of the story of the Good Samaritan, a man was wounded and injured and left to die on the highway. Religious leaders passed by. One of the hated Samaritans, a half-breed, came along and had compassion on that person. He didn't ask for an apology for the way his people had been treated. He didn't ask that man to repent of the wrongs that he had done. Out of love, he simply reached down, bound up the man's wounds, put him on his own beast, and carried him away to where he could get the attention he needed to recover. We all know the story of the Good Samaritan. It's a story that teaches us that love that reaches out changes lives. The compassion that that Samaritan showed that day changed the life of the person who was wounded, but it also changed the life of the Samaritan. I like to think that Samaritan was the first odd fellow. He didn't call himself an odd fellow, but he was pretty odd. Odd because he was willing to reach out and do something that nobody else wanted to do, at a personal sacrifice to himself. To me, that's what odd fellowship is all about. The personal sacrifices that we make to reach out in compassionate love to change people's lives. Michelle sang a song a little earlier, The Impossible Dream. My impossible dream is that we could each demonstrate that compassionate love to each other. It's difficult enough to express that kind of love to people that we know and care for. It's virtually impossible to do it to a stranger, or especially a hated enemy. I was Sovereign Grand Master less than 30 minutes when I had to deal with two brothers fighting. 2 days before I came here, I had to deal with two brothers fighting. Not the same two, but odd fellows all. And it breaks my heart to see what the tension that we face because of our inner fighting in our lodges, in our grand lodges, between lodges, and it's tearing us apart. It was wonderful to sit here tonight and listen to the marvelous things that we've done this year. We've given over $750 million to help people. Isn't it strange that we can help people we don't see, that we don't know, but we have trouble getting along with the person sitting next to us? I hope this week, as each of our orders meet, that we can make a strong effort to try to be true brothers and sisters, not a dysfunctional family. And that we can do something to work together as brothers and sisters. Because you know, with the amount of wonderful things that we do fighting each other. Just imagine what we could do if we worked together. It's still an impossible dream for me to see us working as brothers and sisters and loving each other enough that we can change each other's lives. I have thoroughly enjoyed my role this year as your Sovereign Grand Master. I have enjoyed the times when we could work out problems together. I've spent sleepless nights setting up, worrying, trying to figure out what to do to try to straighten out some of the problems that we have. But you know, it comes down to each of us. Each of us loving each other. That's one of the three components of our order: friendship, love, and truth. But we need the love in the middle. God bless you.